Darling, forever is a long, long time, and time has a way of changing things.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 80s animated movies that raised a generation.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
For this list, we're looking at feature films that had a major impact on or taught an important life lesson to the kids of that era. Which movie from your childhood stuck with you long after you saw it? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. Number 10, Oliver and Company. Based on Charles Dickens' novel Oliver Twist, this rags-to-riches story about an adorable ginger kitten paved the way for the Disney Renaissance.
Keep your dream alive. Dreaming is still how the strong survive. Once upon a time, New York City.
It also introduced a lot of impressionable 80s kids to the concept of wealth inequality. The film romanticizes the carefree existence of Dodger and the other street dogs.
Why should I worry? Tell me, why should I care? Say I may not have a dime, oh, but I got free sidewalk there.
But the differences between their life on Fagin's ramshackle barge and the Foxworth family's cushy home are stark. Of course, since it's Disney, everyone has to live happily ever after, even if it means robbing limos and stealing hot dogs to survive.
Why should we worry? Why should we fail? It's just a new vibration. We got free sidewalk there.
Number 9, The Last Unicorn.
There has never been a time without unicorns. We live forever. We are as old as the sky, old as the moon.
If you didn't know any better, you might assume this movie is typical feel-good kids fluff. But in reality, it is anything but. Following a unicorn on her quest to find others of her own kind, the film is full of dark ideas and frightening characters.
No, she'll kill you! Run, she'll kill you if you set her free!
Set me free. We are sisters, you and I.
There's the witch who imprisons a magical harpy even though she knows the creature will someday kill her. And the skeleton who still craves wine long after death, despite the fact that he can't smell or taste it. Not to mention the immortal unicorn's existential crisis when she's turned into a mortal woman.
I wish you had let the Red Bull take me. I wish you had left me to the harpy. I can feel this body dying all around me.
This movie sparked a lot of kids to ponder their own mortality at a very young age. Number 8, All Dogs Go to Heaven.
All dogs go to heaven because, unlike people, dogs are naturally good and loyal and kind.
Huh, yeah, that's true.
Another children's movie that explored some surprisingly mature themes. This Don Bluth feature follows a casino-owning dog whose corrupt business partner has him murdered. When Charlie manages to escape from heaven and return to Earth, his angel guide warns him that he can never return. Later, Charlie has a nightmare about being sent to hell, a scene that almost certainly gave its young audience some nightmares of their own. In the end, Charlie makes the ultimate sacrifice, saving the life of the orphan girl Anne-Marie, and he's allowed back into heaven.
Goodbye, Charlie. I love you.
Yeah. I love you too.
It's serious stuff for a movie aimed mainly at grade schoolers. Number 7, The Fox and the Hound.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd. What's your name, kid? Mine's Copper. I'm a hound dog.
Copper the Hound Dog and Todd the Fox have been playmates since they were little, and believe they'll be friends till the end.
And we'll always be friends forever, won't we? Yeah, forever.
However, fate is determined to force them apart. When they reach adulthood, Copper's loyalty is torn between his old playmate and his master, who is a hunter.
We're still friends, aren't we? Todd, those days are over. I'm a hunting dog now.
To protect Todd, his guardian takes him to the forest and leaves him there in one of the most heart-wrenching scenes ever animated. Although its story is simple, the movie takes a hard look at the complexities of growing up and the difficulty leaving behind the people and places we love. Number 6, The Transformers, the movie. Many kids who grew up watching the original Transformers cartoon idolized the Autobots' courageous leader Optimus Prime. So imagine their devastation when Prime dies less than a third of the way through the movie.
Do not grieve. Soon I shall be one with the Matrix.
The idea that a beloved character who seemed invincible could actually be killed off was shocking to many young viewers. The fact that Prime stays dead while the evil Decepticon leader Megatron gets resurrected also seems completely unfair.
Megatron? Is that you?
Here's a hint.
Although the Autobots win the war, the victory feels bittersweet. That confusing combination of happiness and sorrow was probably a first for a lot of the kids watching.
Till all are one! Till all are one!
Number 5, The Land Before Time.
Some things you see with your eyes. Others you see with your heart.
Although many children's movies tackle the subject of death, few confront grieving, especially the loss of a parent, as directly as this Don Bluth classic. The death of Littlefoot's mother is heartbreaking, and unlike some animated protagonists, the young Longneck doesn't get on with his life immediately.
I miss her so much.
And you'll always miss her, but she'll always be with you, as long as you remember the things she taught you.
The temptation to succumb to hopelessness is ever present throughout the story. As if that weren't enough for one kid flick, it also introduces the concept of racism through the character of Sarah, who has to overcome the prejudices she learned from her parents.
Come, Sarah. 3 horns never play with long necks.
Number 4, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Ah, no!
Ah, poor fella.
Yeah, ain't I a stinker?
Although many consider the mature themes and racy jokes in this movie to be more suitable for adults, there's no doubt that a lot of 80s kids watched it, either in theaters or on their beloved VCRs. Jessica Rabbit probably inspired the sexual awakening of quite a few prepubescent Gen Xers, even if they didn't understand the double meaning of patty cake.
Patty cake, patty cake, patty cake, patty cake, patty cake, patty cake.
You gotta be kidding me.
In fact, the movie's adult subject matter makes it more rewarding to revisit now, especially once you're old enough to realize that the tunes are an allegory for Black Americans during segregation. Mind blown. Number 3, An American Tale. In the late 19th century, immigrants fleeing oppression in many parts of the world came to America in the hope of finding a better life.
In America, you can say anything you want. But most important, and this I know for a fact, in America there are no cats.
Yet when they arrived, many of them encountered racism and exploitation. In An American Tale, the immigrants are mice who are in constant danger of being devoured by the ruling class of cats.
Go away, cats, go away.
At the heart is Fievel Mouskowitz, who is separated from his family after being swept overboard during a storm. Although some critics thought the film was too depressing for its target audience, it balances out its dark themes with colorful characters and a few lighthearted songs.
Remember to look on the bright side till then, and never say never again.
Teaching children about the dark points in a country's history isn't easy, but Don Bluth is always up to the challenge. Number 2, The Little Mermaid.
I just don't see things the way he does. I don't see how a world that makes such wonderful things could be bad.
Have you ever felt like you didn't belong in the world or even the body you were born into? Maybe that's why Ariel is one of the most relatable Disney characters.
If I become human, I'll never be with my father or sisters again.
That's right. But you'll have your man.
Although her father tries to force her to conform to his expectations, she knows she's meant to be human. Ultimately, King Triton is the one who must learn and grow as a character, giving up his authoritarian attempts to control his daughter. Along with stunning animation and an Oscar-winning score, the movie's message about being true to yourself has made it an all-time classic.
Bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Secret of NIMH. Have we mentioned that Don Bluth was the king of animation in the 80s? In his feature film directorial debut, he follows Mrs. Brisby, a field mouse who fights to protect her seriously ill child from the farmer's deadly plow.
Is Timmy gonna die?
No, sweetheart. He's just very sick.
What's the matter with him, Mother?
Mr. H has called it pneumonia.
Pneumonia.
Bluth tends to place his characters in worlds that feel huge and frightening, yet somehow magical. And The Secret of NIMH is no exception. As usual, it doesn't shy away from dark subject matter.
There were many animals there, in cages. They were put through the most unspeakable tortures.
The rat's story of being imprisoned in an animal testing facility is particularly haunting. But, as usual, kindness and bravery win out in the end in this powerful and timeless animated masterpiece. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.